It appears to be a mistake gone terribly wrong. A 20-year-old college student left dead after trying to enter the wrong house on his South Carolina street. Tonight, Nick D'Onofrio from Madison, Connecticut is being remembered as an exceptional student and athlete.
I remember the last time we played together, our senior year. We were both very emotional because we knew it was the last time we'd ever be on the court together.
The sophomore at the University of South Carolina had recently moved into a house on South Holly Street, the same street where police say a call came from at 2 a.m. Saturday. First, a report of a burglary.
Called to the subject working the door.
Quickly upgraded to shots fired.
I know the subject was hit.
Police say when they arrived, D'Onofrio was deceased, a gunshot wound to the upper body. They have not said who shot him, simply that they continue to consult with the Fifth Circuit Solicitor's Office regarding the circumstances of the case. South Carolina does have a stand your ground law, also known as the Castle Doctrine, which allows someone in their home or place of business to not retreat and use deadly force in self-defense.
These laws cannot and do not stand for the proposition that if you're on somebody's porch by accident, they have the right to shoot you. You have to be in fear in South Carolina of imminent great bodily injury or death.
It's not the first time something like this has happened. Earlier this year, a white man in his 80s shot and wounded black teenager Ralph Yarl when he rang the wrong doorbell, while 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis died when someone shot at the car she and her friends were in when they accidentally pulled into the wrong driveway. Tonight in South Carolina, the investigation continues. As D'Onofrio's family tells our affiliate WIS, we were very lucky to be his parents and love him very much. He was the son that every parent would wish for.
Now let's go back to those other cases for just a minute. In both of those previous instances, there were charges filed in spite of those states having stand your ground laws or a castle doctrine. Authorities in South Carolina haven't indicated what they plan to do, but legal experts say it's going to come down to whether prosecutors believe the homeowner could have reasonably feared for their life.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.
Tonight, tragedy unfolding in Columbia, South Carolina, after a 20-year-old college student was shot and killed, apparently trying to enter the wrong house.
South Holly Street. Called to the subject working the door.
Officials say just before 2 a.m., they received a call about a reported home burglary. That call quickly getting upgraded to shots fired. When first responders arrived, they found University of South Carolina student Nicholas Anthony D'Onofrio on the front porch, shot in the upper body. He died at the scene.
I feel personally that there's many things that could have been done besides firing shots.
Officials say he lived on the same street, about 2 miles from campus. Classes at the University of South Carolina resumed last week. Police are investigating. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, New York.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.
I'm standing at the 500 block of Holly Street in Columbia's Rosewood neighborhood. Neighbors tell me it was a scene of police cars and fire trucks at the homes behind me, responding to that shooting death of a 20-year-old USC student. The Richland County Coroner's Office identified the man killed as 20-year-old Nicholas Anthony D'Onofrio, a USC student from Connecticut. The Columbia Police Department says they were originally called to the address because of a home burglary call, which was upgraded to a shots fired call while emergency crews were en route. The police department says early investigations indicate that D'Onofrio, who lived on Holly Street, attempted to enter the wrong home when he was fatally shot. Neighbors I spoke to say the untimely tragedy has them worried about the safety of themselves and their families.
You think you're going to be safe sending your kid off, and you're so excited sending your kid to school, and then something like this happens because you don't know what you're going to encounter. And so I hate to hear that somebody even in the neighborhood, because this is usually such a, more welcoming, helpful neighborhood than that.
The police department adds investigations will continue and they will work with the Fifth Circuit Solicitor's Office regarding the circumstances of this case. And we will continue to look for information on the situation. You can find those updates on air and online at WLTX.com. Reporting in Columbia, Nate Stanley, News 19, WLTX.
Police in Columbia are investigating an overnight shooting that left a University of South Carolina student dead. According to officials, officers were dispatched to a home on South Holly Street at 2 a.m. for a reported home burglary that was later upgraded to a shooting. Upon arrival, police found one person who had been shot and killed on the front porch. The Richland County Coroner's Office identified the victim as 20-year-old Nicholas Anthony D'Onofrio. He was a University of South Carolina student from Connecticut. Reports say D'Onofrio lived on South Holly Street and attempted to enter the wrong home when he was fatally shot.
The fatal shooting of a South Carolina college student, a 20-year-old who had just moved in for his junior year, was possibly mistaken for a burglar. Trevor Alt is here with that story. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Robin. So police say so far this looks like it began as an accident. This student, Nick D'Onofrio, had just moved into a house down the street only a few days prior, and he was found shot to death on the doorstep of the wrong home.
This morning, police investigating the fatal shooting of University of South Carolina student Nick D'Onofrio, who they believe accidentally tried entering the wrong home.
I used to respond to the 7-Eleven at South Holly Street.
Authorities say they responded to a call of a burglary in progress around 2 a.m. Saturday that was quickly upgraded to a shots fired call.
Called to the subject broken the door. 1075s were fired also through the door. I don't know what the subject said.
Police say when they arrived on scene, they found 20-year-old D'Onofrio dead on the front porch of the home with a gunshot wound to his upper body. D'Onofrio had recently moved into a house on the same street, just 2 miles from the heart of the university campus. The police department says its investigators are consulting with the solicitor's office about the circumstances of the shooting. They have not yet identified the person who shot D'Onofrio, and no charges have yet been filed.
I feel personally that there's many things that could have been done besides firing shots.
D'Onofrio's parents tell ABC News they're in disbelief and are heartbroken. His father moved him into that fraternity home just last week, days before Nick started his junior year. In a statement, the family says in part, Nick was the son every parent would wish for. He was funny, smart, and compassionate, and loved life. We will miss him immeasurably.
And South Carolina has what's known as the castle doctrine, which under many circumstances allows a person to defend their home even with lethal force. Authorities say the investigation is still ongoing. Guys.
Oh,
very
beyond words.
Beyond words. Okay, Trevor, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.
Family in Connecticut mourning the loss of their son killed in a shooting near his campus at the University of South Carolina. Police say 20-year-old Nicholas D'Onofrio apparently tried to enter the wrong home on the same street where he lived in Columbia, South Carolina. Officers were initially responding to a burglary call when en route, the report was upgraded to a shots fired call. This happened early Saturday morning later in Madison, Connecticut, where D'Onofrio went to high school. Neighbors are left grieving.
It's very sad, very, very sad. It's like you can feel it in the air. It's like somber almost, you know.
Investigators have not said who fired the shots, and no charges have been filed.
Authorities say a student at the University of South Carolina was shot and killed while trying to enter the wrong house. The call to police in Columbia was originally for the report of a home burglary at 2 a.m. on Saturday. While police were on their way, another call came in about shots fired. Officers found 20-year-old Nicholas D'Onofrio wounded on the front porch of the home. D'Onofrio's family says it was on the same street as the off-campus fraternity house he had moved into last week.
I feel personally that there's many things that could have been done besides firing shots.
D'Onofrio was from Connecticut and had just started his sophomore year at the school. Police have not yet released the name of the shooter or filed any charges.
Across the
A college student in South Carolina was shot and killed this weekend after he entered the wrong house. Police say 20-year-old Nicholas D'Onofrio was found shot to death on the front porch of the home. They believe he was mistaken for a burglar. D'Onofrio, who's from Connecticut, lived on that street but tried to go into the wrong house. He was a senior at the University of South Carolina.
A 20-year-old University of South Carolina student is dead after police say he tried to enter the wrong house. It happened early Saturday morning about 2 miles from campus. Police say the student lived on the street and had just moved in days earlier. NBC's Kristen Dahlgren joins us now with the latest. So, Kristen, what do we know about this shooting and the young victim?
Right, Clay. Well, at this point, it appears to be an accident gone terribly wrong. The 20-year-old sophomore at the University of South Carolina has been identified as Nicholas Donofrio. He is from Connecticut originally. This happened at about 2 a.m. on Sunday morning. Originally, the call came in as a burglary. It was then upgraded to shots fired. When Columbia police arrived on the scene, they found Donofrio deceased with a single gunshot wound to the chest. He apparently, as you said, lived nearby on the street. He had just gotten to school a few days before that. He's being remembered today as an exceptional athlete and student. As of now, the police say that they continue to work with the solicitor's office. No charges have been filed. South Carolina has what's called a castle doctrine. And so in some cases, people are allowed to defend force with force when it comes to protecting their home, or if they're in a car or a place of business. It's still unclear at this point what those circumstances were with him trying to get into that home. So the investigation continues at this point. Clay?
I'm sure we'll get a lot more answers in the days to come, and just sending our thoughts and prayers to that community and his family. Kristen Dahlgren, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.
We're learning more about the 20-year-old University of South Carolina student who was fatally shot over the weekend. News 19's Becky Buds has an update.
And I know people, are trying to defend themselves and their property, but it's just really sad.
Lifelong Rosewood resident Vicki Nipier is grappling with the deadly shooting of a University of South Carolina student in her neighborhood. She says it's not uncommon to see college students walking home after a night out.
So we have a lot of college kids, and honestly, they don't cause any trouble.
Early Saturday morning, Columbia police say they found Nicholas Donofrio dead from a gunshot wound to his upper body on the front porch of a home on South Holly Street. Police say Donofrio lived on that street, but they say it looked like the student tried to enter the wrong home when he was shot. The tragedy hits close to home for University of South Carolina students like Lauren Fowler.
Yeah, I also live in a house off campus as well, so I do know, in the dark at night you can mistake any house for yours, and it was just an honest mistake.
Donofrio graduated from Daniel Hand High School in Madison, Connecticut in 2021, according to a statement from Madison County Public Schools. He was majoring in kinesiology and exercise science and was a member of the Phi Kappa Sigma fraternity.
At my age of 20, he was still just a child, so it's still sad, and there's no way you can sugarcoat anything about what happened.
The Columbia Police Department is investigating and working with the Fifth Circuit Solicitor's Office regarding the case. Reporting in Columbia, Becky Buds, News 19 WLTX.
Well, police did not say how much time passed between the initial call for help and the second call that shots had been fired. We're learning more about the 20-year-old University of South Carolina student who was fatally shot over the weekend. News 19's Becky Buds has an update.
And I know people, are trying to defend themselves and their property, but it's just really sad.
Lifelong Rosewood resident Vicki Nipier is grappling with the deadly shooting of a University of South Carolina student in her neighborhood. She says it's not uncommon to see college students walking home after a night out.
So we have a lot of college kids, and honestly, they don't cause any trouble.
Early Saturday morning, Columbia police say they found Nicholas Donofrio dead from a gunshot wound to his upper body on the front porch of a home on South Holly Street. Police say Donofrio lived on that street, but they say it looked like the student tried to enter the wrong home when he was shot. The tragedy hits close to home for University of South Carolina students like Lauren Fowler.
Yeah, I also live in a house off campus as well, so I do know, in the dark at night you can mistake any house for yours, and it was just an honest mistake.
Donofrio graduated from Daniel Hand High School in Madison, Connecticut in 2021, according to a statement from Madison County Public Schools. He was majoring in kinesiology and exercise science and was a member of the Phi Kappa Sigma fraternity.
At my age of 20, he was still just a child, you know, so I mean, it's still sad, and there's no way you can sugarcoat anything about what happened. But
the Columbia Police Department is investigating and working with the Fifth Circuit Solicitor's Office regarding the case. Reporting in Columbia, Becky Buds, News 19 WLTX.
Well, police did not say how much time passed between the initial call for help and the second call that shots had been fired.